Breaking news, my lovely, wonderful people, it's happening. Former Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki was in an interview, okay, and he spoke, or said some things about Yesom Wike that is really making the rounds and raise serious, attention as everybody begins to wonder what the next line of action is. Okay, what Obaseki said about Wike, who is the FCT minister, will shock you. What do I mean by that? Wike and Obaseki did not quite end well. What I mean by that is Obaseki's administration was greatly towards the end after, second tenure, he joined the People Democratic Party. Wike supported himself and Philip Shaibu. But after a while, Obaseki spoke to Wike in a very unacceptable manner, according to Wike, because Wike and Philip Shaibu had a bit of fallout, and Obaseki stood up for Philip Shaibu, which led to them not being very as good as buddies as they should be. So when Obaseki appeared in this interview, and he spoke very highly of Wike, it brought about a real shock as everybody begins to watch. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Let's get all the details. Obaseki was in an interview, and what he said about Wike really quite gave a very, surprising deal. In a recent appearance on TV, former Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki recently expressed his gratitude and admiration for Yesom Wike, the governor of Rivers State, referring to him as a master and acknowledging the significant role he played in his life in becoming a governor for the second tenure. Obaseki began by stating, "I can stand anywhere and talk about Yesom Wike. He stood with me and for me when Oshiomhole discarded me and threw me out. Wike was one of the persons who assured the PDP members that I was okay to be brought into the party. Time was running out. It was almost time for re-election. It was in the nick of time that Wike gave an assurance and supported me. People Democratic Party stood with me, but I know exactly the role Wike played. Wike stood firm, although later on, the same Philip Shaibu who we worked together made me had a major fallout with Wike, who supported me. I can't forget a man who stood with me and for me to get into the position I got in after Oshiomhole made sure that I had nothing to do with the party anymore. He used all avenue and every way he can to ensure that I do not get the opportunity to be re-elected. He went as far as claiming false results, of which University of Ibadan cleared out. However, it was the acceptance of Wike and other PDP members that gave me opportunity to be re-elected. Wike is a great man. I cannot discard him or speak less of him. I'm very grateful for the part he played in my re-election. I can stand here today to say Wike played a significant role. So these are some of the things that are going on. And what he said has really, really caused everybody to be wondering and asking themselves, Wike, we know that they fell out, like I said at the very beginning. Remember how, Wike and Philip Shaibu had an issue. And that very issue, Fubara, I beg your pardon, Wike and, and Obaseki had to reply Wike saying, these are the youths, blah, 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 blah. And Obaseki could no longer relate with Wike, especially with Chief Dan Obi and all that. But for him to now come on board and be saying this guy really spoke very, did well for him, it's quite a very shocking, turnout of events, because many will feel that there was a major fallout and they can no longer, we know when things fall apart and, the center could no longer hold exactly. So many people felt, maybe the center could no longer hold, things have already fallen apart. However, that is not the case, because, him, after serving Edo State, coming on an interview and speaking about the same Wike, it kind of feels like, wow, So you remember what Wike did, how he stood with you and the People Democratic Party. And that gives me right to say that politicians are politicians. Don't get yourself worked up because of politicians. You stand by what you see, know, and feel is right. At the end of the day, trust me, they know how to settle themselves. When you are fighting for politicians, it's like a blind man trying to cross a river. A blind man trying to cross, a leg bridge and not sure of how to go about it on a river. The bridge is on the river and you're trying to climb through it. If you are not careful, you will have yourself burnt. You can fall into the river and whatnot. So these are very, very important, matters that must be looked upon very carefully. So, after all being said and done, we saw that Wike came on board, now FCT minister. They've not, I don't know if they've spoken for such a long time. However, he's now the same very person who is saying, you can't do that. Yes, you can't do, and, he was even angry that Wike did not support his own candidate. However, Wike is saying, I've supported you before. What did I got burnt. Oshiomhole then sent Obaseki out of the party, and the same Obaseki, and Wike now are best friends. So can you see politicians? The same Obaseki and Wike are best friends. So when you get yourself burnt fighting for politicians, I strongly take an exception to that. I feel very strongly for you that you don't even have your left from your right known. Because at the end of the day, they meet up and they play nicely. The same Wike and Oshiomhole are best of friends. In fact, in a recent interview, Oshiomhole was saying that he needs to dance with Wike. Wike is the next best thing that have happened to Nigeria after the invasion of slice of bread. Yes, spoke very highly of him. Telling PDP, thank you very much for releasing him to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has turned Abuja from whatever to more developed place, and you name it. You name it. So these are some of the things that are happening, and when you don't know these things, that's when you see yourself, playing into their hands. Don't get it twisted. Politicians are politicians at the end of the day. And so you must understand and know what you are doing so that you don't get yourself involved in their, in their drama. Because at the end of the day, it's who wants to take over position. It's not because they care about you, honestly, sincerely, truly speaking. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Click on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. God bless. Have a good day. Bye for now.